Hello everybody and welcome back to the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show. It's episode 58. We have returned in 2016. I am here with Cdub from Chronochord Media today. What's up, man?
Not much, man. Enjoying some of this nice winter weather here in East Tennessee.
Yeah, it's starting to get cold here too. It's supposed to snow over the next couple days, but so far it's been about an Indian summer, so
Bring it.
We've been lucky, but yeah, I'm ready for a little snow. We watched Wrestle Kingdom 10 over the weekend, Sunday. Me and you did together.
Yes.
What a badass show, man. I got to tell everybody that listens to the show here, and we've been off for 2 weeks, and I want to let everybody know that from now on, probably every year, plan on us not having a show around Christmas and New Year's weeks, because that's just too hard to get everybody together during those times. Just wanted to let everybody know that. This year, I think I have found my new favorite pro wrestling company, thanks to Cdub, and it's New Japan Pro Wrestling. And all thanks to this Wrestle Kingdom 10. What a hell of a show. And I think it brought us, maybe, possibly, the match of the year with Nakamura and AJ. What do you think?
I said going into it, it was going to be a Match of the Year candidate. Last year, 2015, Wrestle Kingdom 9 was my event of the year and also had the Match of the Year. So it's going to be a tough task for any wrestling company to top Wrestle Kingdom 10 just 4 days into 2016, but I certainly hope it happens.
New Japan Pro Wrestling, I suggest anybody who's looking for straight up, hardcore wrestling, stiff in-ring work, more entertaining, cutting edge type stuff in my opinion. And a lot cooler stuff going on in NJPW than any of the stuff going on in the States, in my opinion. They are like ahead of the game right now, the best going. I would say NXT is like right behind them.
I would absolutely share that sentiment, man. I watch as much New Japan as I can and NXT, and that's really the, I try to catch Raw whenever I can. Now with the road to WrestleMania, I'll certainly be watching WWE more, but unless they pick it up, man, and especially with this crap hand they've been dealt with injuries, WWE's got to pick it up. But as we'll get to in the news, looks like they've been pretty active in recruiting.
Well, NXT's been looking at New Japan, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Other than the Nakamura Styles, I like that Never Weight champion.
Yes, the Ishii versus Shibata.
Yeah, that was one hell of a beatdown.
That was brutal. Shibata's just a beast, man. He was one of the original 3 guys who kind of came after Inoki. Mm-hmm. Was booking NJPW and pretty much ran it into the ground with his crazy MMA style booking. And Shibata was one of those guys who was one of their top stars, and it looks like Shibata's on his way back up. Of course, capturing that championship at Wrestle Kingdom. So anybody who hasn't seen Wrestle Kingdom, it's hard for us to sit here and describe to you how awesome it is. The best thing for you to do is, however you got to do it, get out there and watch it if you haven't.
I found AJ and Nakamura's match on YouTube. Of course, it's the Japanese commentary, but nonetheless, get out and check it out. I posted it on the Facebook Brawl for All page too for anybody to check out.
Most definitely. You don't have to be able to understand Japanese to enjoy it at all.
No. You just got to understand wrestling. That's all. More psychology put into their work and everything over there. I was just so impressed by NJPW.
Yes, hey, I'm really glad you enjoyed it, man. I know that was kind of your first full exposure to New Japan as far as watching a show live, and I enjoyed it as I knew that I would, and I'm glad that you did too.
One of the guys that I really like that's on the rise over there is The Cleaner, Kenny Omega. And speak of the devil, we have to just report it right now. What was the event that they had the night following?
What is it? It's New Year's Bash, New Year's Blast, something like that.
Well, whatever the match was, it was him and Styles against Nakamura and somebody else.
Yes.
Omega hit his finisher. Do you know the name of his finisher?
What the hell is it?
I don't really know the exact name of it, but...
Oh, jeez. I don't know it offhand.
Whatever he hit him with, some kind of driver. Anyway, he hit Styles with it after that, and they proceeded to boot him out of the Bullet Club.
Basically, as Jeff said, they pretty much kicked him out of Bullet Club. AJ did his bow and kind of his farewell to the crowd. AJ is assumed to be, we'll go ahead and get this bit of news out of the way. If you haven't heard about it, then you're probably not paying attention. AJ Styles is on his way to WWE. Nobody, from what we understand, has been officially signed yet, but it's all but a formality. Anderson and Gallows are still obligated, I guess you'd say. Mm-hmm. They still have a booking with ROH coming up later this month, and as well as Shunsuke Nakamura. He's still the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, and it appears he's going to be facing Omega.
Yes.
Omega is going to win that title after losing his junior heavyweight championship. So really, it's just, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how WWE uses these four guys who are going to be presumably coming in real soon. We're not sure if it's going to be straight to NXT, to the main roster. There's also some rumblings that apparently there's some activity with the Bullet Club trademark itself.
Yeah.
WWE, I mean, it obviously, that's part of the whole thing, is the Bullet Club trademark, the logo, the shirts. So perhaps, that could be WWE going to go ahead and buy All In and use the Bullet Club name, or it could be their way of protecting themselves from any copyright infringement by using a similar name or a similar logo to Bullet Club, because New Japan has been pretty thorough about sending out cease and desists to people over that logo. So a lot of news, but you guys who are maybe listening that are kind of casual WWE fans, you can expect to see some possibly unfamiliar faces coming to WWE and NXT here real soon.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me. Well, they use Balor Club. I mean, they already have the shirts made anyway that say Balor Club, and that is real similar to Bullet Club. So could they have done this just to keep themselves out of trouble from using that, and it's something making a group similar, like you said?
Absolutely, that could be the case.
I don't see WWE using Bullet.
No, I mean, with this super PC society we're in, can't talk about guns, can't talk about bullets, so I don't expect Machine Gun Carl Anderson to be called Machine Gun anymore. They'll probably call him, like, the semi-automatic rifle or something dumb like that. But,
BB gun.
Yeah, the freaking hug gun or something. Fuck, I don't know. Something stupid.
Yeah, it'll be something like that. But
I mean, hopefully, man, they don't water down these four guys coming in. I could also see this being a good catalyst, this whole Bullet Club stable, or Balor Club, whatever it is, to let Finn Balor make his transition from NXT to the main roster. And another thought that I had is maybe this faction could be something that's on the main roster and in NXT, something kind of unique.
I think that they could just jump it right up to the main roster.
Oh, there's no doubt it would get over, but I think it's really, really interesting to me to see where WWE is going to go in these next few months. They've got all kinds of people down with injuries. WrestleMania season, I mean, this is like the worst time to have injuries, and it's going to be interesting to see how they handle all this situation that they've kind of created for themselves with the Roman Reigns booking and everything. But, I mean, if you don't have the talent, you can't book the matches. So it's going to be interesting. Of course, we got the Rumble coming up here.
Yeah. Before we get going on here, do you think that AJ's going to go into the Rumble?
I fully expect AJ Styles to be a surprise entrant into the Royal Rumble.
So you see, like, Gallows and Anderson joining up with Balor?
I could definitely see that happening. I don't think AJ would necessarily... I honestly believe that they're going to try to put AJ on the main roster as a babyface, or maybe even a heel to go against Reigns.
You think Nakamura will be added into the club?
I don't necessarily see that happening. Honestly, if I was booking it, I would take, like, Nakamura and maybe Sami Zayn and Hideo Itami and, like, one more babyface, and then put Gallows, Balor, Anderson, and maybe one more guy as the heels, as Balor Club or Bullet Club, whatever, and just let those guys run completely wild until they make it to the main roster. Or that idea that I had where you could possibly put them in NXT, but then there's also some of the members of the faction on the main roster.
Yeah, I also got a report that Nakamura is going to be done in the end of January. So
yeah, he still has to finish up. He has that match with Omega coming up. It's presumed that he's going to drop the strap.
I'm wondering when Gallows and Anderson are done. So
I think other than that ROH booking, I think they're ready to go.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that Bullet Club versus the Champions or whatever. We're just going to go over these few news and notes that I had on Raw real quick. It wasn't the most exciting Raw by far. Me and Jeff Crow, who I was hoping to get on here tonight, We watched it Monday. I know you watched it. It was pretty boring.
I didn't watch the entire show, but
yeah.
Man, I don't know how it was for you, but it really felt like a chore having to watch Raw after all that action from Wrestle Kingdom. Man.
Yeah, I could not really get into it after Wrestle Kingdom. It seemed so bland.
But, I mean, by WWE standards, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, WWE sucks, New Japan. I mean, I love WWE, but when it's done well, I thought they did a good job on this Raw of advancing the story a little bit. But as we'll get into, there's going to be an interesting Royal Rumble this year.
Yeah, definitely. A couple things, though, on Raw before we get into the Rumble. I didn't like the ending of this match. It seems like whoever the referee was it Kyoto? Whoever it was missed their spot big time, and it seemed like Vince could have easily made that count, even though he was injured, and it just seemed weird at the end there on that main event. That's the one.
Yeah, that was definitely a little strange. Because and then whenever what's his name Armstrong came out,
that's who it was. Yeah,
it was just so late, dude.
Yeah, so late, and it looked like Vince had easily could have made that count. He should have been laid out cold,
Yeah, for sure.
What'd you think about the Y2J return during the New Day promo? I thought that was pretty sweet.
It was definitely cool. I fully expected Jericho to be back.
He's joining the Rumble.
Taking a look at his Fozzy tour schedule about a month ago, I said, yep, Jericho's coming back for the Rumble and Mania. Always glad to have Jericho on WWE. He's one of my all-time favorites, so hopefully he can get into a really, really cool feud and a good matchup for WrestleMania.
And he came back to work with the New Day.
Oh,
that's why they had him out there. He always wants to work with the best guys. He did announce he's going to be in the Rumble, too, so that was cool to see Jericho back. And he's going to be back. Reports say after Rumble, he continues to stick around.
Yeah, I fully expect him to be around until Mania, maybe put somebody over there.
That'd be nice.
Perhaps take another hiatus.
It's been a while since he had a Mania match or a little run.
Indeed.
That lasted longer than like a month or a couple weeks. Another thing I enjoyed was the Wyatt family's beat down on Ryback. And did you notice they have a new hand sign? It's like the upside down Four Horsemen.
Yeah, I saw that. What the hell?
Did you enjoy? I thought you said you enjoyed that. I texted you.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the segment.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant.
The hand sign, I mean, that was interesting.
Yeah, but the segment itself was pretty cool.
We'll have to see if that catches on over time. But, yeah, I mean, it's about time they did something with the Wyatts, specifically Bray Wyatt. I mean, the guy's been around, and I've been waiting for him to really give him that spotlight, put him in there with the title, do something just to elevate the guy beyond this kind of on the edge of being championship material spot he's been in for a while now. But hopefully we see some more of Bray Wyatt and the Wyatts. We do know all 4 Wyatt family members are going to be in the Rumble.
Yes. And hasn't Ryback and Wyatt already feuded, or am I wrong? Or
I feel like they have.
So I don't think it's a feud. I think they're going to go around beating down all the Rumble participants.
Perhaps so.
And it looks like, man, you got 4 Wyatts in there. Gives them a good chance of winning the Rumble.
Yeah, and I mean, we know that all the other 3 Wyatts are certainly willing to eliminate themselves for Bray Wyatt to win.
So that's very interesting there.
Or we have to think so. So really, Bray Wyatt, with his Wyatt followers and all of them in the Rumble, he's going to have a hell of a chance just going purely by the numbers.
We did learn in this Raw that the WWE title will be defended at the Rumble, too. So whoever wins the Rumble... That's what I mean. In the Rumble, at the Rumble. Whoever wins the Rumble will become the new champion.
Yes.
And we've had a lot of things happen, like Lesnar being confirmed for next week, so you got to wonder, is he going to throw his hat in the Rumble? Is he going to challenge the winner? Because I'm thinking, did he get his rematch against Rollins?
I feel like he did, but he may not have, because there was that triple threat match.
Do you really call that a legit rematch on a Money in the Bank cash-in?
Yeah, maybe not, though. Maybe not. That's true.
He never really got his just due for the title again. So I'm thinking he might challenge whoever wins it. And he is confirmed to appear at the Rumble, so he could have a hand, if he's not in the Rumble, on who wins it.
Indeed. I fully expect Lesnar to be thrust right back into the title picture, or at the very least, some kind of huge match. I don't expect it to be more Undertaker stuff. I don't think we're going to see another one of those.
No.
There's been a lot of talk about Brock versus Rock. Rock has been confirmed to be appearing at WrestleMania.
And I must note that there are rumors that he is secretly training in ring right now.
Dude, I think the money is in Rock as a heel and Roman Reigns as a face.
That would be nice. It's a family feud, too.
Family Feud, man. Why not?
What's your thoughts on Vince McMahon sticking around? I think that they realize that Vince McMahon is one of the most valuable characters that they have. 70 years old or not, the guy needs to be involved some way, somehow, until he can't do it anymore, because he helps elevate these younger guys. He's already making Reigns' star brighter by just being involved with him, in my opinion.
I would have to agree with that. I mean, the ratings have gone up since he's been back. Him coming back that whole surprise was definitely in reaction to the huge ratings drop.
Exactly.
There's no doubt about that in my mind. But, in the case of Vince McMahon, there's still a lot of people that are watching WWE who became fans during the Attitude Era, and McMahon was one half of the reason why they were fans. So I think it's a smart move to keep Vince involved. I certainly enjoy him as an on-screen authority figure more than I do the authority itself. Because we can actually buy it, because we know that McMahon really does own the company.
Right.
It's a little bit more believable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I would honestly just rather see Vince in there, even if it is limited. I mean, we only saw him, his return, it had been a full year since he was on Raw. And, it's kind of that question, do we put him there every week and let him help, or do we keep him on the sidelines and bring him out once in a while when we really need help?
Well, I think right now he needs to stick around till Mania.
Oh, absolutely. They could put McMahon in a storyline, no problem. I fully expect to see some kind of battle between McMahon and Stephanie and Triple H of some sort of power grab between those.
But
those
right now it
forces.
seems like he's so far on Triple H and Stephanie's side, but it'd be easy to flip it, I guess.
It's Vince McMahon. They don't have to do much to explain him changing his mind.
My laugh my ass off moment of the night was the formation of hashtag social outcasts. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, and Adam Rose are the newest faction in WWE. I don't know. I'm thinking it's Heath Slater's new three-man band. Can we call him the three-man band 2.0? What's your take on hashtag social outcasts? And have you been tweeting this out all week?
No. Simply put, no. I like Curtis Axel, Joe Hennig. I like Bo Dallas. I'm even kind of cool with what the other dickhead.
Liking's not the point, man.
But whenever you throw all these guys together, it feels like for any of you Simpsons fans out there, the B Sharps, like Homer's barbershop quartet group. You had Wiggum, and then Homer, and then Apu, and I forget who the other one was, but it was just like this band of misfits who all are completely different. They don't look like they go together. And honestly, I think that's kind of the charm of these guys.
You like this group?
I don't like it. I wouldn't quite say I like it, but there's definitely some potential here. I could take or leave Adam Rose. Really have not a lot of interest in that guy or investment
What was
whatsoever.
funny about the segment is I'm sitting there watching, and literally this came in my mind. When Adam Rose was acting like he was so having a great time out there, I'm thinking this guy is thinking, man, this better work because this is the last thing. This is keeping me employed. Like, I love this. Like, they gave me something to do. I'm not getting fired.
Well,
That's what I got off him.
Sometimes it takes stuff like that for guys to really break out, you know?
Yeah, but I got that vibe off of him. Like, when he's out there, he looked so pumped. It was like, this is his last freaking chance, man.
I really hope these guys make the most of it, but I'll tell you this, the moment they give these guys matching gear, I'm done. These guys cannot have matching gear, or else the whole ragtag band of misfits, social outcast thing goes right down the drain.
You don't think they'll give them matching gear?
I just hope that they keep this somewhat serious, or that they evolve it. I mean, the New Day started out as just this laughing stock where it's like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah, they didn't let them do anything.
Here we are a year later, and those guys are some of the most over guys on the entire roster.
But they
NXT and WWE.
They weren't cutting promos though from the get-go like that.
Not quite as perhaps bad as that one we heard from the Social Outcasts, but at this point, I feel like there's room for anybody to get up there and to, forgive me for using the McMahonism, grab the brass ring.
But, brother,
I feel like anybody can do that, man. I mean, if the New Day can take this crap gimmick and make it into what they've made it, which has been awesome, anybody can, and it's just a matter of them using their skills. So we'll have to see what happens with these guys.
I sort of groaned when they were put together, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Not a big fan of these social outcasts. I think they will be. I think they will become the WWE.
All you gotta do, Jeff, is just believe.
No, I think they're going to soon become the WWE Outcasts. I think that's my new name for them.
Ooh, you really think that they would fire Bo Dallas and keep Big Brother there?
No, I'm not saying they're going to get fired. I'm just saying they are the outcasts of WWE. So how ironic.
Yeah, right?
No, that's all I'm saying. Some NXT news. Because I'm done with Raw as far as I'm concerned. Do you have anything else to mention about Raw? It was a good overall. It was an overall decent show. The hype of McMahon kind of let me down in the end, but
it was decent. I look forward to Lesnar returning.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Because that means Paul Heyman on the TV. That's always good.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting next week. This next Raw is going to be a real make or break one for them as far as putting some of these matches out there and really selling the Royal Rumble.
So going on from that, kind of close out here with all these notes that I have real quick. Some NXT stuff, and I've just got to say the last 2 weeks have been best of shows on NXT. I don't recommend them whatsoever. If you've watched all the matches this year, then you don't need to watch it. They did have an exclusive match on each of them, though, from like the Arnold Classic and one from WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So, I mean, other than that, though, there's not been any real episodes. I'm ready for them to get back in the swing of it, though. I'm missing my NXT.
I just read some reports out of the tapings that are going to go, I think, until like February. For the sake of spoilers, I won't mention them here, but they are out there.
Yeah.
If you guys want to check them out, there's some really, really interesting stuff going on. So
for my sake, I just like watching it as like a fresh show, and that's why I really don't want to know. So I don't know if you know what I mean, but there are some developments though. Did you see that they are strongly considering Balor and Bayley moving up to the main roster, along with Cass and Enzo for the tag team division? They're all being discussed right now. I see for them all to be up there by Mania.
I could definitely see that happening. Balor, well, I can't really say anything without giving away spoilers here, so I'll just say that I hope it happens sooner than later.
Bayley moved up, you think?
I think she's ready. She's going to be transitioning into a feud that I hope will be as good as Sasha versus Bayley was. And it feels like to me it's going to be her last stop, so we'll have to see. You know, it's just going to be a matter of watching how these NXT tapings pan out. But I'm all for putting Bayley and Finn up on the main roster because they really need them right now.
And we've been saying Cass and Enzo and Kaz have been ready forever now. So
they're ready, dude.
They're like they are definitely the Jersey version of Hall and Nash. That's how I describe them.
That's a nice analogy. I like it.
James Storm, he's done with NXT, obviously. Turned down the contract because he was on the TNA tapings. Anybody that follows wrestling knows that he was at the TNA taping. So he obviously turned down a NXT contract. Do you know more on this about Storm? I thought he was doing a hell of a job in NXT, too. I'm kind of sorry to hear that.
From what I understand, NXT offered him the standard contract, which, if I'm not mistaken, is $100,000 a year. And basically, TNA offered about double that. So he said, well, pretty easy decision here.
Yeah.
Can't say I blame him. I think, he probably got to NXT and had those few matches. And it was good to get a little bit more exposure for himself and keep himself working while TNA was in their state of whatever the hell you want to call it. But I think Storm probably has more upside in TNA as far as success and being a featured player than he would in NXT right now.
I'm going to try to give TNA a second chance and hope they can pick things up.
I'll try, man, but they got like 2 strikes, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, they're on their last leg. We've said that forever. Like, the ship's about ready to sink. It's halfway in the water.
There's only so many Mahabali Shiraz segments you can watch without wanting to blow your fucking brains out, okay? Yeah. That's all there is to it.
Exactly.
The guy fucking sucks. EC3... not so fucking hot either, okay?
I like EC3. He's okay. I've said that in the best.
He's alright. He's alright.
I don't like him being Dixie's nephew and shit, but
he's not a guy I would build my company around.
So did you announce this? Big Show, the Wyatts, Y2J, Curtis Axel, Ziggler, Ryback, Roman Reigns. They're all in the Rumble right now for the WWE title. Anybody else been announced?
No, but I mean, I have to assume that Sheamus is going to be in there, right?
You'd have to say.
Here's a question that I'd like to bring forth. What happens if, say, Sheamus and Roman are the last two in the Rumble, and Roman eliminates Sheamus, and then Vince McMahon comes out and says, "Oh, I forgot to announce, this year the Royal Rumble is going to feature 31 participants, and number 31, my son-in-law, Triple H."
I've already seen the rumors that they may have Triple H win the Rumble, so that would not surprise me at all. Now that you brought that up, might as well just say it.
It wouldn't surprise me one freaking bit.
It wouldn't either. I mean, what's he going to do at Mania now?
Well, clearly, I mean, because Vince McMahon already said it, Triple H is going to get his revenge whenever he finds it's good and ready, or whatever the fuck he said.
Right.
So it's just going to be a matter of when, not necessarily if. And it would make the most sense for Roman Reigns, or for Triple H to cost Roman Reigns the championship in the Rumble.
Right.
I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point. Maybe not, Triple H might not win it, but I fully expect Triple H to cost Roman Reigns the championship in the Rumble, have him eliminated, something.
Well, you know, whatever was planned has been tossed out the window at this time.
They've had to, man. There's been so many freaking changes.
Yeah, because of these injuries. One of the most significant injuries, you didn't see him on Raw Monday, and there was a reason. Cena has to undergo rotator cuff surgery.
Indeed, he apparently already did this week in Birmingham at and Dr. Andrews' office. I saw pictures of Cena in pre-op actually talking to Cesaro, who I assume is there in Birmingham doing his rehab. So, you know, I hate it. I really, really hate it for John Cena. I hate it for WWE because they really need him right now. Love him or hate him.
They really
he's
do.
still a top draw.
That's a blow for him.
But you know Nikki Bella's got to be loving it. Ooh, hey, you're out 9 months. What's up, baby?
But, so it's 6 to 9 months Cena's out for.
That's what I understand. But, you know me. I'm no Cena, C-Nation member or anything. But John Cena's came back before the minimum window. He's almost always done it.
He's always
So I fully expect Cena to be back long before SummerSlam.
Yeah, me too. But that's a blow for WWE. Losing him for Mania is not good.
Oh, yeah.
The first Mania since 2004, right?
That's right, yeah. 2000, that was his first, WrestleMania 20, that was his first one. He won the U.S. Championship in the opening match for the Big Show.
Watched that
and
live.
he's been on every WrestleMania since, man.
I've watched every one, too. You mentioned Sheamus. I guess at a live event, he fought Brock Lesnar, and they had a bloody match, I guess. So I'm going to have to go check that out. That's
what I understand. I guess Lesnar has been doing some live show appearances, probably training, getting off some of that ring rust.
Right, throwing suplexes.
So fully expect Brock Lesnar to be a main part of this year's Road to WrestleMania.
Okay, but back to the injury bug note. Sasha Banks apparently out with an injury. Undisclosed still yet?
That's what I've heard. It's undisclosed, and from what I understand, whenever they say this undisclosed injury, usually that means something to do with a concussion. WWE is starting to get really, really cautious about releasing info about concussions or talking about concussions. So, yeah, I would have to assume it's a concussion issue.
Yeah, I would say so. If anybody watched Raw the week before, everybody saw that nasty bump that Sin Cara took off the apron, and he is also injured. I don't know how long he's out for, though.
Yeah, he apparently completely dislocated his shoulder.
Oh, you could tell right away.
It was bad.
Nasty bump. Hard to watch. And he was in pain the entire time. I'm surprised it went as long as it did.
Yeah.
I think they had time that they had to kill, so he stuck out like a professional and did it. So.
Yeah. Kudos to him for finishing the match. I don't know if that makes him. I don't know if that makes him brave or stupid, but hey, kudos to him.
But you know, when you dislocate that shoulder, it's easy to dislocate again. So I'm kind of concerned for Sin Cara right now.
Yeah, I hate that. I really hate that for him,
man. And we got a lot of guys out. Randy Orton claimed that he is not going to undergo neck surgery. He does not need it. Like the report that we reported on the show, and everybody was claiming. Even Meltzer claimed it, which is usually a reliable source. But he said don't believe anything except WWE.com says, and he does not need neck surgery. He did undergo the shoulder surgery on December 8th, and he's ahead of schedule, so maybe we'll see Orton back sooner than we thought.
Well, that could certainly be something that could happen. I'm halfway, honestly, expecting Seth Rollins to pop up somewhere along this road to WrestleMania, even if he's not wrestling. Yeah. I fully expect him to pop up and do something.
Well, I don't think he's going to be back in the ring.
No. I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible, but no. I mean, as far as being cleared for in-ring competition, I would think that the earliest that's going to happen would be like Backlash or maybe Money in the Bank.
Another NXT note that I forgot to mention here that I had wrote down. I have a few more notes, and then we're going to have to wrap it up here. WWE signed officially Tommaso Ciampa.
Yes, good, very good. Tommaso's a hell of a hand. I will tell you, it's not really a spoiler, he was featured on this latest NXT taping, so it looks like they're going to be using him, actually using him and giving him something rather than just, hey, it's Tommaso Ciampa.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because he was a hell of a hand in ROH, so I'm sure you can help him there in NXT, and he's got a bright future ahead of him, for sure. He's in the right place right now. There in New Japan is my opinion right now. That's where you need to be.
That's the hot place to be, man. I mean, ROH is good.
And, I didn't really...
It's certainly a viable alternative.
I kind of let you go on your own and report on, the Nakamura, Styles, Gallows, and Anderson to NXT or whatever, but... I gotta say, I was blown away with Shunsuke Nakamura, man. What a freaking... He's like an enigma or something, in my opinion. I mean, does this guy have some magnetic charisma, or... I don't know what you can say, but this guy's... he's got it, man. And I'm telling you what, he's gonna be a star for WWE. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed, dude. You said it. He has that magnetic charisma that it doesn't require language to be translated.
No, he doesn't even have to say anything.
He doesn't have to say anything, nothing. And he can just come out there and, I'm sure he knows some English. All Japanese are taught English. So I don't see any reason why Nakamura won't be a big-time star, at least no reasons that he would cause.
Yes.
It is known that he's pretty beat up from all these years. He's going to have to make a big adjustment as far as toning down the stiffness of that Bomaye knee and some of his other stuff. But as far as just being in the ring, there's not many people on this planet that are as good as Nakamura.
He's going to have to use a different name, but they need to let him keep that character, that King of Strong style, that charismatic character that he has. Not saying they have to call him King of Strong style or anything, but let him keep using that same kind of attire and entrance and everything like that is what I mean.
If it were me and I had to WWE-ize his name, I would do everything I could, number one, to let him keep his name. And
I
the
would
same
too.
For AJ Styles.
Yeah, I would too, but I don't know.
Why not just shorten it to Nakamura?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Something like
that works. I hate to give, because WWE is kind of notorious for these one-name names, but Shinsuke Nakamura may be kind of a mouthful for most Americans. Either way, I mean, it doesn't matter what the hell you call him. You could call him anything.
All I'm going to say is that the bottom line is I just wanted to say he's going to be a star, that guy.
Absolutely, man.
He's one of them guys I just looked at and I was like, he's got it.
Can't say it enough, man. If you're listening to this and you're hearing us right now and you've never watched New Japan ever, go find Wrestle Kingdom 10. Go find Wrestle Kingdom 9 for that matter. Watch both of them.
You know what it has that the NXT and WWE don't? It's got the cool factor to it, in my opinion.
To me, really what my draw is, as we were talking about during Wrestle Kingdom 10, is number one, the pacing. There's no wasted time. The match, they make their entrance, they get in there, the match is over, they exit out the other side, and before they're even in the locker room, the next match is beginning.
Yeah. They throw 9 matches on the card.
I mean, that's what people want to see, and above that, something about it just has that big-time feel, man. It has that big fight feel, like a Mike Tyson fight, or like at one time, a Floyd Mayweather fight.
Well, I think it has the cool factor with the Bullet Club throwing the suck it. It's almost like a throwback to the Attitude Era right now over there in Japan.
Oh, for sure, man. And the Bullet Club has been, doing that whole thing for a good year or two now.
Yeah, but it's minus the crazy, booking and stuff like that.
The most hardcore thing you're going to see in New Japan is the stiff strikes. You're not going to see a bunch of light tubes and
we did see a Japanese table.
Yeah, we did see the unbreakable Japanese table. And can I just say quickly, what a complete mindfuck it was to see the Great Kabuki and King Haku in the same ring in 2016. I mean, we were watching this super, super late, and I almost wondered if I was like having some kind of delusions or something, because King Haku and the freaking Great Kabuki.
In 2016, Kabuki's
like
still,
100.
I didn't think the guy was even wrestling anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'd known that Kabuki owned a restaurant there in Japan, but I didn't expect to see that, and I gotta give a big congrats to Cheeseburger. That guy, despite the name, which is kind of silly, he talks a little bit more about how he got the name and just about himself on the Talk is Jericho podcast he did.
Yeah.
I would definitely suggest that, but it was super cool to hear him talk about it and how going to Japan and working in the Tokyo Dome was his lifelong dream, and he did it.
You know
he
what,
freaking did it.
You know what, though? Stephen Lane from the Brawl for All loves Cheeseburger. So we gotta give a shout out to old Cheeseburger. When I told him he came down to the ring at New Japan throwing out cheeseburgers, he had to look that up. And they
it's Steven, if you're out there listening, bud, it's WrestleMania season. Time to renew that contract and get back on the Brawl for All.
Yeah, I want to get his ass back on here. I actually forgot to text him about tonight. I should have got his ass on. Gonna have to
get back on, man.
Got to get Jeff on here too, man.
Most
Sorry,
definitely.
I just didn't want to miss Cdub on here tonight, so he only had 1 hour to do this.
Here I am.
We got 14 minutes left. WrestleMania 33 is rumored to be held at the Big House in Ann Arbor, Michigan, or Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. I did read that. So they are possibly planning on maybe the Big House, man.
Those rumors both, I haven't heard those. What I've heard and what I've assumed to be a foregone conclusion is that it's going to be up in Minnesota, where the Vikings play, in Minneapolis.
Well, I'm just reading these where they're looking at the Big House in Ann Arbor or Ford Field in Detroit for 33.
I could definitely see that happening, but I gotta wonder logistically. Ann Arbor in late March, early April. That's gonna be cold.
No, I think it starts getting warm around then, though.
Yeah, perhaps so. Hey, don't get me wrong. I would love to see WrestleMania in the freaking snow. That would be awesome.
They haven't been back to Michigan, have they, since the old 93,000 fans Silverdome?
No, they went to Ford Field for 23.
Okay, so why not again?
Or no, was it Ford Field? Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I think it might not have been, but I know it was in Michigan for sure. I think it was Detroit. So I could fully expect them going back there. I've heard a lot of rumblings about them going back to Orlando. I'm just going to throw my name in the hat. If Ann Arbor, which is a big stadium, can get a possible look for WrestleMania, why can't Neyland Stadium in Knoxville? That place holds 100. The max capacity that's ever been there is something to the tune of 111,000 people. They could comfortably fit easily 100,000 in there, no problem. It's in Knoxville. It's central to Nashville, Atlanta, Charlotte, all these cities. I'm just saying, if you're going to give Ann Arbor a look, give Neyland Stadium in Knoxville a look, because that would be like a lifelong dream for me if it actually happened. Or maybe even LP Field over in Nashville.
Well, hopefully somebody's listening so they can take care of that and make your dream come true.
You hear that, Paul? Get on it.
A couple more notes that I had here, just little things. Every champion that left WrestleMania 31 last year is now injured. Did you know that?
I didn't realize it, but yeah.
I should have threw it in there when we were talking about injuries, but I forgot about that note.
Wow, yeah.
That's interesting.
That's awful.
And my last note. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this injury bug, man, has really went all the way through WWE and kind of cut down the ranks at a time whenever they really need all hands on deck.
And the last thing is kind of about an injury. WWE posted the article on WWE.com about the NJPW 4 that
yes,
supposedly were signed. We don't know yet for sure, but they've yet to officially announce it, but I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess Daniel Bryan tweeted about it, and he said, Can WWE clear me already?
No freaking kidding.
So that's my last note that I had there. So what's your opinion on the Daniel Bryan story? Have you heard anything on why he's not being cleared right now? Why are the doctors clearing him outside, and why is WWE not?
It all ties to this concussion thing.
Well, is he not passing their concussion test?
I'm not sure.
That'd be the only thing that would keep you out, right?
I would have to assume so. Either that or they're just hesitant. I mean, they pulled the trigger on the guy, and WrestleMania 30, and he ended up getting injured, and then they gave him the IC title at 31, and he got injured. So it's certainly no fault of Daniel Bryan's, but I mean, looking at it from a business standpoint, I can definitely understand why they might not be gung-ho about putting him back in there. But right now, you're severely lacking star power. You got a lot of guys out to injury. You're trying to build up to WrestleMania, where McMahon has went on record saying he wants to break that old record of 93,000, which is a bit of a dubious claim. But I don't think they're going to do it this year. Certainly not with all these injuries. But if it was me booking, you got Daniel Bryan, who was roommates with Shinsuke Nakamura at one point. Actually is friends with the guy. They've had matches. I would try to sell perhaps a Shinsuke Nakamura versus Daniel Bryan matchup somewhere down the road once Nakamura is established. At the very least, I would not have Daniel Bryan at the house playing with Josie the dog and gardening and shoveling his compost toilet.
Why?
I would have him on Raw, even if he's just in somebody's corner. I mean, he could come out there. Think about a guy like a Neville. Neville is so talented in the ring. You throw Daniel Bryan out there with him, people are going to love him.
Yeah. The only other thing I got to think about it is, if they don't want him back in there, why don't they just give him his future endeavor like they did with the guy that, announces for NXT?
Yeah, Corey Graves?
I don't know. Yeah, his name slipped my mind, but Corey Graves. Why don't they do that?
You would think that they would at least transition him into another role in the company like they did with Graves.
Yeah, it's just strange to me.
Daniel Bryan's been in the business long enough to where he knows, I mean, he could easily go on commentary. You could put him in any number of roles, one of them being an authority figure. But just the fact that they don't have him on TV, period, I don't like it. I mean, it seems like it's really hindering a lot of fans who really want to see Daniel Bryan back. So I don't know, man. It's I certainly understand why they might not want to put him back, but I would take the risk. I mean, you can always get him to sign a freaking waiver or something saying, hey, this is your decision. You want to come back. We don't want to bring you back, but you're deemed medically fit. So here you go. Sign off on it. You won't sue us. Come back. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
Anything.
I don't know. Well, Cdub, do you have anything else other than that?
I have one final exciting note. I actually watched the leaked first pilot episode of this, but WWE has, again, filmed a kids show. NXT Kids was the name of the last one, at Full Sail, and apparently they had young Izzy, Bayley Superfan, as one of the interviewers. The leaked pilot episode that I saw, it had Corey Graves along with two kids for commentators. And I gotta say, it was kind of unintentionally hilarious hearing little kids call a match.
Why are they doing that?
I think that's really, really smart. On the pilot that I saw that leaked, they obviously featured Bayley. Yeah. Smart move. Yeah. At the taping that they did for this, they had a Big Show match. And apparently, after the match, I think it was Izzy interviewed the Big Show.
That's smart booking, too, because he's the big, likable face.
He's a huge monster. And apparently, I saw two pictures from the taping. One of them is Izzy holding up the microphone, trying to get it near Big Show's mouth. And then the next picture you see is Izzy sitting on the turnbuckle interviewing Big Show, which I think is just freaking hilarious. I think that's a great, great move on their part to market some of these people that are kind of family, kid-friendly. Sami Zayn, Bayley, both of those people are talents that are great public relations. They seem to be genuinely good people.
Right.
And that's one market that WWE is always looking at is the kids. So smart move there. I think it'll be a pretty good alternative to maybe Main Event or Superstars or one of these other shows that they've kind of sterilized and made kid and family friendly. So that's something else that they're going to be apparently doing in 2016. I would have to assume out of Full Sail. So keep your eyes open for that, kids.
Young Izzy, you gotta love her.
Absolutely.
Well, that brings us to the end of Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show episode 58, sadly. Cdub, I hope you can join us again next week. I want you to shout out Chronochord.
You got it, man. You can check us out at chronochord.com. Of course, you can find the links to all of our various stuff there on the page. We're on YouTube here on the Brawl for All channel over in the featured channels. Give us a subscribe, like, say hey, comment. I've got some good wrestling content up there. Going to be doing a Royal Rumble 2016 preview. If you guys are on Twitter, hit me up at Chronochord. You can find us on Facebook too, Chronochord. Hit us up, man. We like hearing from people. And make sure to, in this video, down in the comments, maybe drop down below and let us know what you think is going to happen with the NJPW 4 and maybe even the Royal Rumble. Who do you guys think is going to come out of the Royal Rumble as champ?
Yeah, that'd be nice too. Here's some feedback, because always looking for feedback. It helps with the show. I'm going to say as well to all the new listeners out there who are just now catching us to make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button. Give us a like if you like what you heard, and definitely comment like Cdub said. And we will leave the link to the Chronochord Media YouTube channel down below in the description as well. So go down there, click on it, and go do what Cdub said. But or else he will have... Who is it? Joey Numbers? Is that who Taz always has come after?
Yeah, I'll have to call my man Joey Numbers in Red Hook.
Exactly. So Joey Numbers will visit you if you do not subscribe. No, but till episode 59, I'm going to have to say peace out and C-dubs. I thank you. Jeff Crow, hopefully we can get him on. Stephen Lane, get Brock back on here as well in the future. Yeah, and Kenny Omega, Biz Cliz, Too Sweet, Bullet Club for life. For life.
Too sweet, me good brother.
Peace.